Oh, what is on your glasses? If you ever clean those things. I'm Kevin. I'm better than everybody else. I got more clean sunglasses than everybody else. Yeah.
Were those clean enough for you, Kevin? But yeah, oh man, Coke music was so much fun. We used to go to the corner deli, and we used to always go and get Coke or Sprite and whatever has the code in the cap. We used to run straight to my house and put those codes in so we can get CCs, so we could buy Fernie, watch Breaking Bad. Good times. That was for all the people who don't know what Coke music was. It was basically our version of Club Penguin, but made by Coca-Cola. You mentioned that when you were, talking about people always tell you to watch things. You mentioned your siblings. Last I checked, you had one sister. Watch Breaking Bad. How could your siblings tell you anything? Your sibling can tell you something, but your siblings? Do you have family you're not telling me about? Because it's really messed up, Kev. Yeah, but you bring up some really good points about you being stubborn when it comes to movies and TV shows, because I am one of those people that tell you to watch Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad. And it's not my favorite show, but it's probably the most coherent and best show ever written. I said it's not my favorite show, but I think it is the best show around. Like, it's the best written show. Who goes to amusement parks to get scared? I go for the fast rides. I feel you with the whole you don't want to be caught with an unpopular opinion about a very popular show. That's kind of how I feel about sports. I have an unpopular opinion about a very popular thing. Like I think sports are cool, but like I don't want to watch them. I don't want to watch them. I'll watch the Super Bowl just because it's a big event. But as far as watching 3 times a week, 4 times a week, however many times sports is on, it's just sports. Um, yeah, just don't doesn't interest me, and I have that unpopular opinion where watch Breaking Bad. I just don't care about sports. I want to get to your question now, which was, what is my favorite extended universe? You've mentioned Pixar, you've mentioned DCU, you've mentioned the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I'm going to not choose those because those are the big ones that are, you know, intertwined and this, that. I'm going to go with the View Askew universe. If you don't know what that is, that's all of Kevin Smith's movies, all the Jay and Silent Bob movies and stuff like that. Um, they are not rated PG-13 or PG for any people watching this that aren't allowed to watch those movies. But, and if you don't know, it is an extended universe. All of the main movies are intertwined. You got Mallrats, which is the first in the timeline. Brody and TS go through the mall. They do their whole shenanigans. They just got broken up with by their girlfriends on the same day. Um, in the very first scene of the movie, TS mentions that, or TS's girlfriend mentions that a girl from their high school had died. So it goes through the whole film of Mallrats, and then the next movie in the timeline is Clerks, which is Randall and Dante, the main characters. Within that movie, they go to the funeral of that girl that was mentioned that they died in Mallrats. So right then and there's already that connection between the universe. So the one that comes after that is Chasing Amy, with Holden and Banky. Holden is Ben Affleck, and Banky is Jason Lee, who plays Brody. Uh, Ben Affleck plays Shannon in Mallrats. So it's kind of like an American Horror Story thing where there's all these different characters but played by the same people. So Chasing Amy is a about Ben Affleck's character falling in love with a lesbian, and Banky is kind of homophobic, and he doesn't like that. But those two, Banky and Holden, create a comic strip about Jay and Silent Bob. By the way, Jay and Silent Bob are in all of these. They create a comic book about Jay and Silent Bob called Blunt Man and Chronic. And then Dogma comes around, the next movie in the line, which doesn't necessarily tie into the storylines of all those, besides Jay and Silent Bob being in them. I believe they may have mentioned something about Chasing Amy inside Dogma, but I can't exactly remember right now. But then there's Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, which is about Jay and Silent Bob trying to stop a movie being created based on the Blunt Man and Chronic comic book that Holden and Banky created in Chasing Amy. And while they're doing that, there's a scene from the very last scene of Mallrats, like after the credits, that is a big plot point of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And they also go and they meet up with Brody in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, which is an awesome callback because he's my favorite character from Mallrats. And then there's Clerks 2, which is just a continuation of Clerks. And it's pretty funny. They're going to make Clerks 3, they're going to make Mallrats 2, but I'm not sure if... I believe those fell through, but Kevin Smith is making a reboot of Jay and Silent Bob, so I'm excited for that. But that's my favorite shared universe. It's a very different shared universe, and not, like I said, PG. But if we're going stuff that's good for all ages, Marvel. You got all the Marvel movies, you got all the Marvel TV shows. While the Netflix TV shows don't necessarily mention the characters by name, they usually reference... Then you have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is completely tied in with the movies. You have Phil Coulson, who's from Iron Man 2 and Avengers. And it's about him, and it ties in with all the movies. Not all the movies, most of the Avengers movies. And Winter Soldier, and this, that. I like all shared universe. Like, shared universes are so nice. Because even Arrowverse is really nice. Thing is, though, with Arrowverse, if you're trying to watch Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, Supergirl, if you're trying to watch those all from the start, it's very... With movies, you could watch a movie, and you know the timeline. But with the shows, you could watch the first season of Arrow just fine. No, the first 2 seasons of Arrow you could watch just fine. The 3rd season of Arrow is when the first season of Flash came out, and they had the mid-season finale, the crossover. So you kind of have to watch like an episode of Arrow, Flash, Arrow, Flash, Arrow, Flash, Arrow, Flash, crossover. Arrow, Flash, Arrow, Flash, Arrow, Flash, because they have episodes where they go on each other's show. It's hard to watch. It's hard to keep up with the Arrowverse because of the fact that they are weekly shows that cross over occasionally. Then they have the big crossover events. Before I get to my question, you don't have to go into depth, but what's your favorite shared universe, extended universe, whatever? But my question is... You see, I've known you for a while, but I feel like I've never heard you talk about live concerts, live music. So I don't know if you've ever been to a live show. I don't remember any one specific time you said that you've gone to see someone. And I also don't remember you ever coming to a concert with me. And if I'm forgetting one, I guess I'm a bad friend. But, so the question is, have you ever been to a concert? If so, what was your first ever live concert? And have you been to more concerts since? What is your favorite band to see live? Everybody watching? What was your first live concert? And also, who was your favorite band or artist to see live? Who can you just not get enough of? leave your answer in the comment section below. I'm going to point at random parts of the screen like Kevin did. If you like the 90s Guys, press the like button. If you can't live without the 90s Guys, press the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at 90s Guy Tom. Kevin doesn't really say to follow me on Twitter, but I'm going to be a better person, and I'm going to say follow Kevin on Twitter at 90s Guy Kev. Both of our links are in the description below. Watch Breaking Bad. I blanked on what to say. Goodbye. Watch Breaking Bad.